EBI is really proud of our new suite of workplace health and safety solutions powered by the Soteria platform. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Stephen Ludwig and Dr. Charles Stanser, the Chief Medical Officers behind the program. Gentlemen, it's great to see you. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much. It's great to communicate with you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
All right, let's jump right in. Workplace health and safety solutions includes everything from thermal scanners to distance monitoring, contact tracing. Talk to me a little bit about why companies need to be thinking about incorporating these tools into their business models right now.
Yeah, I think it's really important, Jennifer, to think about the employee, to think about the workplace, and to really think about your patrons that come to visit you, and to think about their family members, right? And having a safe work environment and having an environment where you know people can come, work efficiently, work safely, develop a resilience to what's going on currently, and more importantly, go home and feel as though they were safe during their day at work, I think builds confidence, builds safety, promotes a better workplace environment.
Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty in today's environment with all of the suspicions about whether or not the person next to you has a potential risk of transmitting disease. And we basically feel that companies need to build the confidence of both employees as well as consumers. And this type of confidence can be achieved with our work health and safety solutions.
All right, so you guys have been there since the start. You have watched this product evolve. What impresses you most about the solutions? Why do they stand out when we've got just a marketplace booming with COVID solutions right now?
One of the most unique aspects of this solution is the breadth of the coverage. Using our medical expertise, we've carefully reviewed all of the CDC questionnaires and have chosen the very pertinent questions. And we have made sure to keep it thorough to make sure the screening process is as good as possible and as safe as possible for employees. There is a very important nature to this as well with regard to the fact that it's not just screening, but it's also contact tracing. And we provide a solution that we think is more comprehensive than any other solution that's out there.
The whole goal, Jennifer, is to reduce exposure and reduce transmission. And I think in order to do that, you have to have a great screening tool. And you have to be able to follow your patrons, your employees at every level. And that's what Soteria does. It's the most comprehensive system that's on the market. You're able to build the system up however you want. You can personalize it based upon your own business practices. But at the end of the day, what it promotes is safety in the workplace.
So talk to me about how exactly it does make the workplace safer. What's the science behind all this?
Sure. So what we've done is we've taken, like Dr. Stanser has said, we've taken best practices as guided by the CDC, the NIH, the Institute of Medicine, the World Health Organization, and we've made a conglomerate of best practices in how to create a safe return to work. So by screening patients for disease processes, by following them, through contact tracing, by creating a huge command center so your HR, your business people, your C-level suites are able to get their hands around pertinent data related not only to COVID, but other disease processes as well, creates a safe work environment. We use best practices, we use evidence-based medicine, and by amalgamating all those things together, it creates a very safe environment.
One of the other important factors is that we all know the spread of disease can be transmitted in the absence of masks. And that's exactly one of the things that we also screen for, whether or not the person coming into your business is wearing a mask, and we're able to detect that.
Yeah, one of the things that was interesting that you just mentioned was what everyone's gathering information. People are taking temperatures. We've all seen it, but what are they doing with that data once they have it? Is there any use? And then this program gives you that that knowledge, basically.
Absolutely. And you brought up a really important point, right? You're bringing up one metric of what people are looking at. And you talked about temperature. But I think the important thing to understand is that things are evolving, right? Our understanding of COVID-19 has evolved, right, over the course of the past year, exponentially. And it's not only COVID-19 that we're faced with, right? We're going to be faced with COVID-20. I hope not, but there are variants that are already out there, as probably everybody knows about, unfortunately. But there's also influenza. There's going to be other generations of viruses that we're going to have to contend with. And unfortunately, pandemics create long-lasting effects, not only on people, but on business practices. And really, to get this under control, it's going to be mandatory that you have something in place in the workplace that facilitates and enables safety. And that's what Soteria offers.
There's no question that the workplace needs to have these measures implemented. And getting the vaccine, obviously, is an important step in the process of getting us past some of these hurdles. But the important point is the vaccine is not 100% effective. And even if you do get the vaccine, it's not known whether or not that person still could potentially transmit the virus. So there's a lot of unknowns here. And with the unknowns, there is risk. And this really mitigates that risk.
It's funny, as we're chatting, I'm thinking about what life will be like after COVID-19. We used to go into work and say, oh, so-and-so has the flu or so-and-so doesn't feel well. We're not going to treat it the same way when we come through this, are we? It's going to change the whole workplace.
Absolutely, because as you know now, you may have a common cold, you may have the flu, you may have COVID. And initially, all those symptoms look very much alike. And it may be some other disease process. So you're bringing up really important points. But at the end of the day, nobody wants to go through this pandemic again. Everybody wants to be in control. Everybody wants to have a safe environment. And everybody wants to avoid transmission to other people. So by having something in place, by having a command center that captures all pertinent data that's relevant at the time, whatever you're dealing with, either COVID, influenza, or something else, we'll be able to do that for them. And we'll be able to track it in the workplace as well. And by bringing different safety measures in, and by tracking it, and by continuing to update best practices, that's what Soteria is going to be able to offer to you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And, having an employee with an illness or a fever is going to be a thing of history, in this day and age. We basically feel that this is going to protect businesses, and it's going to protect people, and it's going to make the work environment safe.
Yeah, there's 4 things that are going to make this thing go away. One is therapeutics, one is immunizations, another is herd immunity, and the last thing is Soteria. And that's what's going to make it safe to get back to work.
Wonderful. Well, doctors, thank you so much for joining us and walking us through this. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Thank you.
For more information about EBI Workplace Health and Safety, go to ebiwhs.com.